At this time, I'd like to introduce you to some very special people. Our Boy of the Year and his family, Luke Hentzell. Luke Hentzell is a blood cancer survivor who has volunteered to share his story with the candidates, keeping them inspired and motivated during the campaign. We are truly thankful to the Hentzells for them being a part of this year's campaign, and by sharing their triumphs and struggles, they have inspired and motivated our candidates and the rest of us to raise as much as we possibly can for a cure. And at this time, I'd like to ask the Hentzells to step forward.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening. My name is Jodi Hentzell, and this is my husband, Sean, Alyssa, our eldest daughter, Savannah, our youngest, and our son, Luke, who is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's 2009 Boy of the Year. Four years ago, on April 17, 2005, our family heard words that changed our lives forever. I'm so sorry to tell you, it's leukemia. We discovered that our son Luke joined the army of children fighting for their lives against acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is the most common form of childhood leukemia. Unfortunately, in the United States, similar words are repeated every 5 minutes to another family or individual diagnosed with a blood cancer. About every 10 minutes, someone dies from a blood cancer. This means an estimate of 52,000 people in the United States will die of a blood cancer this year. 25 years ago, Luke's diagnosis may have been a death sentence. Today, children diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia have about an 80 to 90% cure rate. And much of that is due to the never-ending efforts of organizations like the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society that never quit fighting for a cure. People often ask us how Luke was diagnosed. We took him to Children's Hospital because he had a high fever. He was being treated for strep throat, and the doctor thought he might need a new antibiotic. After examining Luke's stomach, she found his spleen was larger than it should be, and an x-ray then showed his liver and spleen were distended. We were told that could mean anything from an infection to cancer, and within an hour, we were told that it indicated leukemia. Luke was admitted immediately to the hospital and given 2 blood transfusions. After a bone marrow biopsy revealed the type of leukemia he had, a plan for treatment was implemented. We first heard Luke had leukemia at 11:30 p.m. on April 17, 2005. By 4 p.m. the next day, less than 17 hours after hearing the word leukemia, chemo had started. After 1 month of intense chemo, Luke went into early remission. When Luke began chemo, we heard childhood leukemia treatment described as an iceberg. The tip of the iceberg is getting into early remission. The rest of treatment lies below the surface of the water. Luke was on chemo a total of 2 years and 8 months and took his last chemo pill 18 months ago on December 3rd, 2012. Luke spent many days and nights at Children's Hospital. Chemo was very difficult for him physically and emotionally. It caused him to limp, gave him headaches, mouth sores, back and leg pain, nausea, and many other symptoms. Now, 18 months off chemo, Luke continues to have aches and pains, including severe headaches. He also has some language and learning issues that oncology feels are after effects of chemo. However, Luke is very brave and strong. As soon as his pain medicine makes him feel well enough, he's running and playing again. It's an inspiration to us to see how he never lets his pain get him down. Leukemia has been rough for our whole family. A wise children's oncologist summed it up very nicely when he said, "Childhood cancer is a family tragedy taking place in a child's body." When Luke was diagnosed, I was 3 months pregnant with Savannah, who was running around in front of the... and that added challenges to an already difficult situation. While there were many people who stood beside us, others just walked away when we needed their encouragement and support the most. That was even harder to deal with when Luke's immune system was very weak and we spent a lot of time confined to our home. We missed many events we look forward to, like birthday parties and church services, and just when we'd start to feel normal again, we'd find ourselves jolted back to the reality of childhood cancer, and we would be reminded of how precarious Luke's health really was. We were usually reminded by the seriousness of his disease, by odd symptoms, illness, or just finding out his immune system was so compromised he couldn't take chemo. Recently, our reality check was Luke's migraines. In April, Luke's headaches became so severe that for 3 weeks he was on pain medication almost 24 hours a day. Because of the headaches, they did an MRI and spinal tap, and we were thrilled to hear that he's still in remission. As much as those times have been difficult, we're thankful for each and every day we have as a family. Cancer has taught us to see the extraordinary moments in every ordinary moment that we have, to stop and smell the roses and be thankful for every day. Luke's sisters have been a huge part of Luke's support network. They often get his mind off his pain through play. While Luke was on chemo, Alyssa never gave up encouraging him to play and trying to cheer him up. She often helped him play through the rough times. Being a sibling of a childhood cancer patient has very unique challenges. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society just began a sibling support group this summer, and while we're not able to participate this year, we're thrilled that this new program is going to minister to the siblings of childhood cancer patients. The siblings are often the silent victims of these terrible diseases. During Luke's first month of treatment, Luke and Alyssa watched the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's video, Why Charlie Brown Why, over and over again. They'd ask questions and think about what was being said in the video. That video was a huge source of comfort, strength, and emotional healing for our children. And we'd like to thank the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society for recognizing the impact of cancer on the whole family and providing services and education for patients, parents, and siblings. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society works hard to meet the needs of the entire family impacted by blood cancers. Their ceaseless efforts to find a cure give hope to blood cancer survivors and to those who have lost a friend or family member to blood cancer. By providing financial aid and emotional support to patients and caregivers, they help lighten the load that we have to carry. We became involved with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society when my mom formed Luke's Miracle Team for Light the Night. And I'd like to thank our family who came tonight to celebrate Luke's survivorship, and really to thank our whole family and our friends who have helped carry us through the last 4 years. We appreciate deeply everything they've done for us. And we've been so blessed to be involved in this campaign. We've been inspired by each and every one of the candidates and the stories that we've heard. We've been reminded to remember those who've lost the battle, like the friends of Carrie and Wayne, and our friend David, who died just a few weeks ago. The campaign's also given us a chance, though, to celebrate survivorship. Just looking at Lisa Greenwell, leukemia survivor and daughter of Betty Eliotto, has given our family just a hope for the future, and just so much I can't even put it into words. We applaud each of the candidates for Man and Woman of the Year and their supporters for their efforts on behalf of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. By working hard to support the quest for a cure, you're supporting Luke, our entire family, other patients and their families, along with approximately 138,000 people expected to be diagnosed with a blood cancer this year. Excuse me. Thank you all for coming tonight and for your involvement in this amazing campaign. The money raised will help ordinary families like ours fight an extraordinarily difficult battle. Thank you for naming Luke the 2009 Boy of the Year. Tonight, the 2009 Man and Woman of the Year will be announced, but every one of the candidates is a winner and a hero. Candidates, we thank you deeply and congratulate you on your successful campaign. As you bid during the live auction, remember it's your last opportunity to vote for your candidates, but also think of Luke, our family, and all the people that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society have touched. Please open your hearts and your wallets and bid generously, and know every dollar counts. Thank you.